To me, my X-Men. So, today, we are doing a LEGO X-Men collection video. So, first of the wave, since there's so many of them, I'm just going to call it a wave. We got the gift with purchase promo of the X Mansion. And we got the Charles Xavier, and I'm just gonna say it's based off the Fox X-Men movies, because he has a real wheelchair, and the black suit that he wears. And you get the build of Cerebro. Honestly, there's no Cerebro helmet, but it's much better than what they did in the mansion. And then there's this printed tile piece of Jubilee. I just wish we could get a real Jubilee sometime. Like, hopefully LEGO understands that it's X-Men. They're very popular. Make more. And then I have a couple Sentinels. This is one of the Sentinels I have. The first Sentinel I ever got. It's from the first LEGO X-Jet. It came with Wolverine, Magneto, Black Suit Storm, which I have no clue where that figure is. And it also came with Cyclops, the dark blue astonishing suit, or something like that suit. I don't remember what suit it was, but it's not my favorite design that he had. But here's one of the Sentinels. Then we got the best Sentinel, well, best LEGO Sentinel ever made. This one came in the X Mansion. As you can see, I got some different figures on here. I got the Gambit. Ooh, I better make a name for myself here. I also got this one character from the D&D blind bags. The Winged Avenger something. I don't know if the figures really had a name. But this is eventually going to be used as Angel when I find the pieces. Only reason I put this was just in, like, just so I know where the piece is. And then this character right here is Bastion. He is basically a human sentinel hybrid thing from the future, basically. And then this one, okay, real sentinel, stand up, please, and no fall. This one's a custom sentinel that I made. So this one is used from that one Buzz Lightyear set from the Lightyear movie. This was used for Zurg. As you can see, I took the head off of that figure. I had used this for Galactus a long while ago because I never thought LEGO would make a Galactus thing. Like, anything of Galactus. And then now they did, and I was able to find this, and I'm like, finally, I can make a third Sentinel. Because I got this Sentinel head, which came in those not MCU, those Lego Marvel, well, I guess it is MCU, Lego Marvel MCU blind bags, and some not really MCU, more of like What If and other shows related to that. And as you see, it just pops on. I don't have the last piece needed for that, but when I find it, I'll put it on and then I'll review that. Okay. Here's another of those D&D figures I had in place of a Nightcrawler. Right here. There's the tail. I don't think that the tail was from D&D, but once again, I'm not sure. Because I know for sure that at least half this figure is made from D&D. These legs were taken off of the Winged Avenger character. And the hair was from the elf character. And then the swords came with the singer character or something. I don't remember. There's some character that had like swords and some kind of musical instrument. Okay, so here is one of the Jean Grey and Rogue figures I have. They both came in the Lego X-Mansion set. The head, you might notice, is not from that set because I have a way better detailed version. Lego Custom. I did not make, I bought it. And I just swapped the faces because Lego's official face was better than that custom face was. Because the custom face didn't have a battle face at all. It didn't have any angry expression to show that she's in battle. And then here's the official Jean Grey, which is pretty cool that I can say I have the official one because this one's probably going to get very expensive because, well, the only other Jean Grey was the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive the green suited Phoenix suit. Here's another Jean Grey when she was Marvel Girl, I believe they called her. This yellow mask part comes off, shows the face, smiling expression, and battle ready. Now, putting that back on. Okay, that's back on. Just getting those figures back on there. Alright. Here's a Cyclops from the X-Mansion. They did a cool little laser thing, which they didn't do that for the X-Jet. Not sure why. Plus, they gave him leg printing, but it's not good enough, because his hips are not yellow, where on the real character, his whole hips are yellow, not just in front of him. And, for some reason, even though they know he has yellow boots also, they don't give him yellow boots, so I had to paint them, and they're not too good, but better than nothing. And here is my Blob custom, because Lego just hasn't done many X-Men characters, and I'm an X-Men fan. So here's Blob. The legs well, the whole torso and legs, that was made from Lego Maui from the Moana set. This arm was, well, both of these arms were from I think it was Professor Hulk version of Hulk, where he had the quantum suit, and then the hands are just normal green Hulk. And I painted them tan, and the head, as you saw came off. It was just made of complete Play-Doh, and then I colored it in. The whole torso, to make it that bulkier, not normal at all Lego design, I just packed a lot of Play-Doh on there. I believe it was blue color and yellow color Play-Doh, but then I colored onto it, and then the top, I think it came off once, so I glued it, and it came right back off, because it's been packed in a box the whole time. And then, let's show the X-Jet. So here's the X-Jet. You got your Magneto, you got the second Rogue, Wolverine, the worst version, because the blind bag version is the best one. Then a second Cyclops, technically third Cyclops, since there's been that one version, and then this newer version. And since I was talking about those Lego blind bag figures, let's show a couple of them. So, here is Wolverine. This is not the blind bag version. This is just the official one from the Lego X Mansion. And now we got a semi-custom one that I made. So this one was a Wolverine from the blind bags. As you can see, he has the arm printing that Lego has never done, plus printing all around the legs. And you see the claws. You're like, hey, that's not what Lego does. Yeah, that's the custom part that I did. Voice keeps cracking. So, I cut the knob off of the official Lego claw, and I glued the claws to the hands. Because they've done those knobs for Wolverine and other characters with that same claw for many years, and it's just ridiculous because that doesn't make any sense how it looks. Also, Wolverine, the blind bag version, came with a cowl and that Sentinel head that I showed with the custom Sentinel. Alright, and I had an extra hair piece that also comes with that because of one of the blind bags, so I just put it on a character. Here is Beast from the Lego blind bag series, and I got an extra of him, so I made an even better version. Well, semi-better. Try to get him more bulky, because with Legos, I'll take out the 2 accessories. He's normal Lego build. You look at him in the comics, he's almost Hulk size. So I try to bulk him up a little bit. It does for the most part, what you want it to do. He can still fit in the X Mansion. No. Also, I made him special claws, and one of the claws just broke off. Great. Well, that's not good. But there's nothing I can do, because I don't know where that glue gun is I have. Also, we've got another beast. A custom, though. So the first appearance beast, he's in like a black and yellow suit. Doesn't have shoes or any of that. So I made this custom. Because since I have first appearance Jean Grey, why not make first appearance Beast? And then eventually I'll be making some mocks of like first appearance X-Men and others of the X-Men. So here's White Suit Storm from the blind bag. I used her cape to well, I'm not seeing it, but I used her cape to make a black suit Storm because I couldn't find that suit of the figure, so I just made a custom of it using that same figure because I had multiple of that figure. And then here's that figure, but with the cape. And this one has the shoulder pads and the printing on the legs. For some reason, this one from the mansion doesn't have that. She didn't have the shoulder pads. Well, she's got long hair, so it wouldn't work. And the legs have that printing. So in that case, I have technically 4 Storms. I just can't find them. Now, since I already have them out, I'm just going to show the other Lego blind bag figures. Here's Moon Knight and some fish, goldfish thing. I'm not really a fan of Moon Knight, so I know nothing about him, besides he's like Marvel's version of Batman, I guess. And then here's Goliath. And that's his helmet. Put that on really quick. Looks just like that. I don't know much about Goliath, so can't really tell you about him, other than I guess he's a kind of like a version of Ant-Man in a way, but I don't really know. Here's Werewolf by Night. He's a werewolf. I don't really know that story much. Agatha Harkness. She's a witch. That's all I know. And Kate Bishop. I wish I could have the Hawkeye that was in that, but I wasn't able to find Hawkeye. And here's Lucky the dog from the Hawkeye show, featuring Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop. Alright. Now I'm going to show my Colossus customs. So, a long time ago, I made this one out of one of the Hulks, and I never finished making this one. Did the hair, painted some, but never finished. I believe I have a minifigure version, but I don't like minifigure for Colossus or Beast because honestly, they are too big for a big fig. A big fig? No. They're too big for a little minifigure. So, this is the next best thing I could think of. I got this at CMOCon the first year I went to CMOCon. Got this figure, and the official color was this like orc green. I shaved off the head because it was really scruffy, and scraped off the detail on the figure, and then I painted it with paint markers and made my own Colossus. Because Lego doesn't like to do what they should do for X-Men fans. And now I'll show the X-Mansion. So we got Magneto at the top with a very cool custom-made display around him of the metal. Already showed the Storm. Here's Emma Frost, also from the CMOCon. That was from the second year. Gladiator from the first year of CMOCon, I'm pretty sure. So basically, I just got a lot of characters on the X-Mansion. Okay. This one is from the CMOCon second year. This is Nightcrawler. So, this one right here, I don't really like the hair they used. It doesn't show his spiky ears, so I might just switch that out. The cutlasses are great. The tail's printed on the back, but I think I might change out that tail here and put it here. Other than that, it's a great figure. And then we got Mystique, CMOCon first year. I painted the hair because for some reason it was this maroon, brown, or I don't know the color, but something like that, beige or something. Which makes no sense unless she's doing her shape-shifting, which in this figure she's not. And the hands and head don't even match the other blue that is on the torso and legs. So I'll have to fix that eventually. Alright, now we're showing Cable, which is Cyclops' son. This is CMOCon first year, I believe. This neck bracket, shoulder pad armor thing. This did not come with the figure. I added it because he's also a very crazily bulky character. And the figure looks awesome, but it's not bulky, so I'm just bulking it up a little bit. Also a CMOCon figure I got. This one was first year CMOCon. I started to add some effects to her hands to show that she's using her powers, but I never found anything, so I just basically stopped there. Here's two different characters that I got Sumocon's second year. These two counted as one figure, Dogpool and Headpool, from the new Deadpool and Wolverine movie. I also got Kidpool. And then we got Fox, X-Men, Wolverine. And look how they did the claws. Way better than Legos ever did. They actually make sense. Because he doesn't attack like this, claw coming out here. He attacks like this. Like that. So, easy way of fixing it. Fake Lego and custom Lego has done it many times. Professor X, aka Charles Xavier, in his hover chair. This honestly is just Fox X-Men again, because usually in comic he's in his green suit, but this is dark blue suit. That's Fox X-Men. Patrick Stewart, great actor, but when you're gonna do hover chair, give us a green suit. It's that easy. Alright, now we got custom Omega Red, used by combining Nia's hair from the Lego Ninjago movie, Dracula's head from the Scooby-Doo Lego sets, Spider-Man webs to do his tentacles, I think it was Deadshot to do the torso and legs, just because that's the closest thing to how his costume looks. Some red hands, the armor shoulder pads from Whiplash, and the white arms from Nurse Harley Quinn. Then we got Sabretooth. This one's also custom. So, one of his thumbs is made out of a toothpick, and then the rest are just cut off Wolverine claws glued to his hand. The rest of him's just, I don't remember, some kind of yellow figure from normal Lego. The head's from Old Man Luke Skywalker. Hair neck piece is from, I honestly don't remember. Oh, yes, Kraven the Hunter. And then the hair, probably from a Harry Potter figure. Yeah, I think it was from Ron Weasley. Here's Lady Deathstrike, complete custom. Same with Sabretooth and Omega Red. So, I think the hair is McGonagall from Harry Potter. The hands, how I made her special long fingernail hands. That's all those toothpicks just glued onto the hands. And I don't remember what torso that was, but it was a white torso that I sharpified with Sharpie. I believe the head was Natasha Romanoff's. Here is Morph and to show he's using powers, I just put some random stuff like fire and lightning to show he's shapeshifter and he can use different powers. Trying to get that back on. Got it. Then we have Lockheed, I think. It's a purple dragon, but I only have a red dragon, so eventually I'll paint it purple, just like how the X-Men comics have it. Here is Iceman. And he has a ice sword from some recent Ninjago thing that I found, and it had a fire character using an ice sword. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. But I got that figure mainly because the hair looked better from Mystique, and I found an ice sword. And I think it had a mech also. Also, I made this little ice ramp thing because he's seen a lot on an ice ramp. Eventually I'm gonna make it better, use different pieces, but for now that's what I got. And that one's just made from extra pieces I found in the X-Mansion set. I also got a custom Jean Grey. Same costume as the official one, just better. Better detail, a way better hair piece used. And I gave her the official power pieces for the telekinesis. I gave her the official pieces because that's just the one I'm going to display with. Here's Bishop. The blaster he had was smaller. Pretty much just Lego's classic blaster with a couple pieces connected. I made it 10 billion times better. Now I'm going to put these characters back on. And then after that, I'll find, I have a box to the left of me. So after I put all these characters back on, I'm gonna get that box, and I'm gonna show some cool figures. Oh, also I have the same blind bag Wolverine showcased just in the back of the mansion using his powers. And he's just jumping like behind a morph and attacking Sabretooth. Now eventually when I'm able to get all these characters fixed up and get the space for them all, I will build the mansion better, make it way bigger and better size. Get Nightcrawler. Let's say he's jumping up on the X-Mansion to get Emma Frost. Now I'm gonna have to move the X Mansion a little bit because I am losing space on this table to display everything. Okay, so here's the box that I was talking about. This might take a little while to get everything out because, well, there's quite a lot here. So in this box we got one of the Avengers trucks. Got Robert Pattinson's Batman, Batmobile, some kind of like Speed Champions vehicle. Another Batman vehicle. Ghost Rider and custom-made Ghost Rider bike. Well, motorcycle. Avengers motorcycle. And some Star Wars what were they? Clones? Star Wars clones? And before they even had a Lego X Mansion, they didn't have much of any Lego X-Men figures. So I made my own a long time ago. So I'm getting the whole base plate I got and showing each figure. Okay, so since I've already shown Beast a couple times, let's show another Beast I made. Lego Big Fig Beast. I was sick of Lego making little tiny normal minifigures for big people like Beast, Colossus, and well, anyone who's not minifigure size. So I made my own. Only problem is, well, it doesn't fit in the X Mansion really. So I'll have to make the X Mansion better. Here's, well, before I even knew about the X Mansion, before that was ever created, the Lego version, I made my own Bishop. One part is from the Nova officer guy. The headpiece was from, I'm not really sure, but I think it was a guy who was an agent for Arkham Asylum, I believe. Whoops. The katana from Deadpool fell out. These figures have been in a box for a long time, so they might have dust on them. Here's my Deadpool. He's got classic, normal Lego blaster, classic swords, and some kind of custom blaster here too. It was like Drek arms or something. And as you can see, this figure is very old. The fittings starting to scrape off and stuff, but it's still an awesome figure. Here's my custom rug right here. The only way you can really tell it was Rogue is the brown jacket and the green and yellow pants. Because it didn't have the the white streak that she usually has. Here's Gambit, my custom Gambit. Not the best, but you can tell who it is. This one is Sebastian Shaw, I believe. The reason why the hair is so different, so colored, I guess, with green and stuff, because it was used for a mythology character, but then I changed it back. I believe this one's Blink. She can teleport. Here Here is official Lego Magneto, the first ever Magneto, and I gave him some metal Lego chains and just some gray pieces to show that he's using his powers. This is Magique. I think that's how they pronounce her name. I'm not really sure how they pronounce it. But this is Colossus' sister, I believe. Her cousin. Something like that. Ah, great. The phone fell over. Not cool. Here is another Wolverine. This one came with the first Magneto, I believe. These are also custom glued on. This is Emma Frost. I do not remember what pieces I used. I just shaved a bunch of white pieces off, shaved the details, and made Emma Frost. Here's Mystique. I feel like that one was probably a custom of just the Fox version. Also, I have a lot of these characters that I don't really remember the names to. So here's one of the characters. A blonde character with black and yellow classic X-Men costume. This is another X-Men black and yellow costume. Don't really remember who it was. Might be Miss Marvel or something. I really don't know. Here is Banshee, and as you can see, I made a custom built translucent piece to show that he's up in the air flying. This one is White Suit Storm that I shaved all the details off and made into Black Suit Storm because that's the only suit I like. I don't like the white suit really, or when they make her with a mohawk. That just looks weird. So I tried my best to make the black suit custom. I just painted it with black marker, brown marker, and yellow and red. And then the translucent piece, I just added some pieces to make lightning on the sides. Here's a cool custom. Before I knew they would make a Professor X, I made a hover chair, and he has a computer. And yes, this is kind of fox suit. It's dark blue, but I don't think I had a green suit at that point, so I just made what I could find. Okay, here's my custom Jubilee. I like the one that I got in the X Mansion one. Not the X Mansion. The custom I got from SemoCon, but it just takes too much effort out of it because it's not posable anymore. You could barely pose the figure at all, where you see the legs are like halfway out. And that one, you can only move it like that much, so I just didn't use it anymore. I mean, I'm using it, but I might change it out, I don't know. Here's X23, and yeah, she did sometime get some Wolverine costume and become a new Wolverine or something. Don't really care for when they do weird stuff like that, so I just made her classic look with the black tank top and black pants. I also got this figure. This one's probably Shadowcat, but I'm not sure. AKA Kitty Pryde. She can phase through walls. Alright. This one is Juggernaut. I did not make this. This was a custom that I bought a long time ago. I believe this one's probably Dazzler. This one was... I think it was a villain. One of the characters that Wolverine would have had to dealt with when he was being turned into the Wolverine with all that adamantium and stuff. This is my custom of Thunderbird, I believe. The head was from a Lone Ranger figure. Not the Lone Ranger, but the guy that... the Indian character that's friends with him or something. And then this one's also Thunderbird. Because I think there's two different like multiverses or something of him where he had different costume, or it was his brother or something. I don't really know the story too much. Here's my custom Angel. Red suit with the white and the white wings. This is the only version I like of him. Here's my custom Jean Grey. Green Phoenix suit. The back is just the Iron Fist character turned around because, well, I don't really care for Iron Fist. He's just not that cool of a character, in my opinion. Here's another character that I'm not really sure of that came along into the X-Men genre. This one's probably Cannonball or someone like that. Not really sure. Here's my custom Quicksilver. These are all pretty much comic based besides Mystique, I'd say. Here's custom Nightcrawler. Pretty great figure, even before I got that other custom of Nightcrawler. And the tail is from the Avatar movies, Lego set. And this is Polaris, Magneto's daughter and sister to Quicksilver. Psylocke, don't have a special sword for her, so I just added that. Then here's Toad. I just glued a red long piece to his face to make it look like that. This one is not Sunspot. This is Pyro. I used Calendar Man's head to do the mask thing because that was the closest thing I could find. Here's Silver Samurai. I just found some random dark gray pieces and some Ninjago Samurai pieces and made Silver Samurai. Then this one is this one's Forge. Not the best, but at the time I didn't really have that much different skin color wise pieces. I just had yellows and normal skin tone and a couple black like that, where it's just an odd color like that. But for other characters that'd be like Hispanic or other races, I didn't have much things to be able to make them. This figure might be Havoc, not really sure. Then this guy, I definitely have no clue who it is. Same with this girl character here. This is Sunspot when he's fully powered up in the almost demon looking mode. And then this is my custom Iceman before I ever knew they were going to make an Iceman. This is made from 2 translucent blue arms and a translucent blue head. The clear pieces from Frozone from The Incredibles, and a couple weird light blue a light blue torso and some different colored light blue legs and stuff. Not the best, but it's all I could really find at that time. Here's my Cable. Not much, just generic design of Cable, not much of a special design or anything, just close enough to where you know it's Cable, really. One of the strongest X-Men villains and most classic, we got Mr. Sinister. As you can tell, the cape that's not normal for Lego. That was Calendar Man's cape. I sharpified the back of it black and the front of it red to make Mr. Sinister. So I got these two figures. Not really sure who they are, but there's multiple X-Men characters that I don't know much about. So a lot of those characters I don't know about. Then we got Domino. Not much. Pretty much just a black suit, black hands, all that. The blasters, the head, and the hairpiece. And we got probably one of my coolest customs I've made, Apocalypse. Yeah, the face looks pretty bad, but eventually I'll make a better face. These tubes were glued into the arm because a while back I did have a Bane arms from the Lego Batman movie, but then for some reason I chopped them off for a different character, and then, well, I just didn't have them. And I got this cool blaster cannon for one arm, well, one hand, just made of a lot of the binocular pieces. Got this character, might be Multiple Man, but I don't really know. And this guy, I don't think he's North Star, but I really don't know who this one is. And, well, I know who he is, I just don't remember the name. He throws, like, daggers. He was in the same era where they fought Mojo Jojo. Yeah, I can't think of the name. Well, like and subscribe to not miss another awesome video. Comment if you have any clue what some of those figures are. Stay tuned for more awesome videos. Share. And this figure beast was made from a Thanos when they first started doing the removable head. I just painted blue right over the Thanos figure and then added this as the hair. That's the piece I need for the Sentinel head. Oh well. That Juggernaut's pretty cool. The head moves, not 360, but side to side. Moves just like a normal minifig. Why do I keep saying minifig? It's a big fig. Anyway, like and subscribe. Comment if you noticed any references, and goodbye, fellow X-Men fans. Where'd he go? Where'd Cyclops go? Oh well. Alright, bub. And I'll make it go kaboom! Goodbye.